Hello, this is John Dunkerley, and what I'm going to go through now is the revamped version of the one-to-one meetings that we do. Now the old way of doing meetings worked perfectly fine, but we've revamped it and this does seem to be working quite a lot better actually, so I would give it a go. Now you're going to need a few tools to take along with you to the one-to-one meetings, and you'll see these tools as we go through. The next thing is you need to be dressed fairly smart, not over the top, but smart casual, and then make sure that you ring the prospect before you actually go along to the meeting. Once you get to the meeting, knock on the door. As they answer, make sure you smile so that you make a good first impression, and then you go in and have a little bit of a chit chat with them, find out what their background is, what they're doing, what they would like to actually achieve from this business and so on. And once you've had the chat for about 5 or 6 minutes, then you can give them a bit of your background. Now once you've actually given them your background, ask them what they actually know about Clean Easy so you can gauge what they actually know. Once you've gauged what they know, then you say, right, let me just show you what Clean Easy is actually about. So I'll then open up the case, and the first thing I'll bring out are these stories, all the bits and pieces from the various newspapers, because facts tell but stories sell, and it's this part that really grabs people's imaginations. So you can say, look, there's been adverts in the Evening Post, the Mirror, the Sun, and I hand that over to them so they can actually have a look at it. I then go on and say, look, this was in the Sun last year. This is all about students, and students very often go to university, come away, and very often they start their working life with big debts. These people are going through university and they're going to come out the other side debt free, and it's all thanks to Clean Easy. But it's not just young kids and young adults, it's older people as well. This couple here earn in excess of £5,000 a month, and this was in the Mirror just a couple of years ago. I'll then also show this advert from Bob Webb, and I'll say, look, this is Bob Webb. He's one of Clean Easy's millionaires, and you never guess what, he used to be a woodworking teacher years ago, and he got involved in this, and now he's a millionaire, which is incredible. I'll also point out that there's Rob Foster on the front of Moneymaker magazine. Yeah, and this all sells the business. And finally, I will show people that are in team success and their backgrounds, the sorts of incomes that they're earning, and so on. And by handing this over to people, it becomes a lot more real. So once I've gone through that part of it, I'll actually bring out the presenter. Now the presenter is as follows. So I'll start off here and I'll say, right, what do all these people have in common? Well, as you can see, you've got Bob Webb. In fact, he was the guy that you saw on the Sun ad earlier on. He earns in excess of £435,000 a year, and he used to be an ex-woodworking teacher. You've got people like Mike and Amanda. He used to be a prison officer. She used to be a hairdresser, and so on. Now, the great thing about Clean Easy is that you don't need any special skills. Anybody can do this. And what these people have done, they decided to get out of the trap that we're all sold when we leave school. We're told to leave school, get a good job, if maybe work your way up to a managerial level or whatever, and then your income tends to tail off. You might be on a good income of maybe 35,000 a year if you're lucky, and then when you get to 65, boom, you're on a small pension at the end of it. What these people have done, they've got into Clean Easy. They've started off on quite a low level, but there's no ceiling on how much they can earn. And what Clean Easy do, they combine two things. One is home shopping, which is delivering and collecting back the catalogues, but they also combine something called network marketing. Now, you may or may not know about network marketing, but network marketing can develop a very, very large income for you, and I'll explain that a little bit more a little later on. The company itself, though, Clean Easy, has been around since 1923, so it's been around a very long time. It's got very, very good integrity. It's a founder member of the DSA, which regulates this type of business, and the results basically speak for themselves. And it's brilliant because we've got a mass market. You can deliver and collect back these catalogues anywhere in the UK and Ireland. Brilliant. And you can also build your team anywhere there as well. And the method of operation is so simple, and I'll explain that in just a moment. But you've also got no limitations to growth, you've got no boss to report to, and you can expand your business from day one. Now lots of people do say, well, okay John, how can Clean Easy pay the big incomes to these people? Well, in traditional business, you've got the manufacturer and the customer, and in between you've got all these people who take their cut. In Clean Easy, you've got the manufacturer and the end user, and then you've got us. Yeah. So all the money that would have been paid here is actually paid back to the network, back to the distributors. So at that point, I then remove the presenter, and I'll actually bring out the catalogue and say, right, okay, this is the very latest Clean Easy catalogue, and I'll hand it over to them. And I'll say, look, open it up, have a little look through, and that's very often what they do. They just have a little browse through. As they're browsing through, I'll say, look, there's lots of different products in there for the home, the garden, pet care, personal care, and they're all priced to sell. And what happens is you basically go out, drop those catalogues to people's homes. 2 days later, you go back and pick them up. And what you're going to find is one of three things. Number one, some people won't even look at the catalogue. Some people will look at the catalogue but not actually buy this time, but they might do next time. And then you're going to get the people that actually look through the catalogue and place orders. And it's at that point I bring out last week's orders. And again, with these orders, I actually hand it over to them so they can actually physically see what we picked up. As they flick through, I'll say, look, there's orders there of £5, £10, £15, but on average the order is about £10. And once they've recognised all that, they usually give me the orders back, and I say, right, let's assume that you've been out, you've picked up these orders, and this particular lot comes to about £500. So what happens then is when you get home, you order the products online, and within a couple of days the company will actually send you all the products. Once you've got the products, you can then match them up with each of these order forms, and then you can deliver them out to your customer. Now when you do your delivery, that is when the customer pays you for the items. So basically what happens now is you've done all your deliveries, you've collected in the £500, and you keep the equivalent of 21%. So in other words, out of that £500, you will actually keep £105 for yourself, and then the remainder, the £395, is then paid back to the company. I'll then ask them if they've got any questions. Do they understand how it all works? And most of the time, people are fully aware of, the actual process that we go through. So that's the first half of the meeting. I will continue the rest of the meeting on the next video.